Daniel P. Romard, Carlos A. Vidal.
Present.
Okay, so you have 3 present, 2 absent, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Before we get started, anyone in chambers recording, can you please identify yourself?
Chris Campbell will be recording this meeting.
Thank you, sir. Chris Campbell will be recording the meeting. All right.
Is WCAC reporting?
No.
Oh, no, thank you.
We're gonna make, Councilor Black makes motion to approve the minutes from 9/17. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Minutes have been approved.
Okay, your first new matter is the composting resolution.
No, the
Oh.
Yeah, this composing will wait because Councilor Mackin is running late from what I'm being told, and
Okay, so there was a matter that was submitted that did not make the agenda. It was an omission on my part. It was a resolution concerning rodent infestation.
need to hear from Councilor Darcy. Oh, you would have to approve this, or you already?
Well, he's the maker of the resolution, so I think he gets to speak.
Yeah.
There you go.
You don't even-
You have the floor, Councilor Darcy. Go ahead.
Thank you. So this is concerning rodent infestation in Waltham. And it has 2 resolves: that the city investigate distributing rodent-proof trash containers with secure lids to all residents. And then the second resolve is that the city investigate limiting trash containers to be placed curbside only on the day of trash pickup. The first matter, as you know, we've handed out recycle containers to every residence in Waltham. And I think handing out rodent-proof trash containers would be just as, if not more important, so that the rodents don't have the ability to access the trash. And then the second aspect is consideration of limiting, obviously with some exceptions, but asking people to put the trash out the day of the pickup. The rodents are very, very bright. They know which houses put their trash out the night before, and they are cognizant of that, and that's when they access those containers. So I would ask, perhaps someone in this committee could ask the health director or his or her designee, the recycling, maybe not. Start with the health director and the CPW director to a future meeting of this committee to discuss this matter.
Okay, would you like this to happen on the 15th? Are you looking for
That's
something?
the pleasure of the chair.
Okay. All right, so I'll make the motion to invite the,
I'll make the motion.
all right. Make a motion to invite the recycling, no, you said the CPW director and the health department director, or his or?
Or designee.
Exactly. All right, on the motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. So now we have,
Let's see, we got composting,
Yep.
paving, and PCI. I think all of those we're expecting.
right, so why don't we, I know the, yes, sir.
Make a motion to table Councilor Darcy's.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna make the motion to, Councilor LeBlanc's motion to table the rodent infestation resolution. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Thank you. So, Councilor Harris, you have a few items that I know you wanna look into, and perhaps there's some combining and filing a few.
I,
Can you hear for anything? I'm sorry.
I was just here to listen to
Oh,
the
I want you to find something.
Kristen's thing.
Oh, okay, all right, great. Sorry, Councilor Harris, go right ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to take off the table the 3 Christopher Road matters for the purposes of combining them for the docket.
All right, and that will be Christopher Road paving, Christopher Road water main, and Christopher Road new sewer south end.
That is the motion.
All right. Motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. And we'll make a motion to combine all 3. Mr. Clerk?
Okay.
All right.
I'd
Would
like
you
to make a
approve
motion
the
to
motion? Do we need to approve the motion to combine, or? Yep. On the motion to combine all 3 items into 1 item. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to put that back on the table, please.
All right. Heard the motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to file the matter of the combined police fire station Moody Street renovations. The purpose for this filing is that the Moody Street Fire Station is part of the design committee, and we have a very comprehensive design that now supersedes this request.
Okay.
It's gone before the mayor, it's working in concert with the fire chief, with the fire union, and it's moving forward. This now is outdated
Okay.
request, and our current matter of the Moody Street Fire Station design is already on the docket for, and its renovation committee of the whole.
Okay. The motion to file, all in favor say aye. Opposed say no. That motion has been,
Daniel P. Romar.
Thank you. That's been filed.
The one has
All right.
the fires, it just says police there, it just says police. It's really all-
You've got two
doing
more
all the
to
details,
file.
it's all about Moody Street Fire Station. And,
You got two more, I believe, right?
yes,
You gonna do Brennan?
Brennan, so I would like to make a motion to file the Brennan Ave resurfacing because it's already duplicated on the docket.
Can we just combine it like we did the other?
Okay, yeah, let's
agenda
combine it
meeting?
then, yeah, thank you.
So we're gonna merge that into the one that we have?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to combine the two Brennan Ave matters on the docket,
No.
both the resurfacing and,
Sorry to be sticking on this. Now, I'm looking at Brennan Road and Brennan Ave. I'm talking about the same thing,
The
right?
same thing.
the
Okay.
same thing as a typo.
Okay, just making sure. We don't want to mess up this.
It's all Ave.
Thank you. On the motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no.
Make a
Thank
motion
you.
to put that back on the table, please.
All right, make a motion to put back on the table. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. The ayes have it. Thank you. You got. Crestview is the next one you gotta do, right? 1780 Crestview, we have it already on,
Yeah, so I'd like to make a motion to combine the 1780 Crestview matters as well. It's a matter of docket cleanup, motion to combine.
all right, on the motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to put it back on the table, please.
Heard the motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes.
There's
Madam President.
one other matter on your docket,
Mhm.
going back to 2014, Vernal School wetland at the site brought in by Councilor Darcy. I would respectfully suggest that it might be appropriate to send that out to the full council with a recommendation that it go to the Vernal Use Committee. If somebody wants to make that motion.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Councilor Brown, should we hear from Councilor Darcy, you think? Someone?
He's on the Vernal Use Committee.
Oh, that is right, so that makes sense, I believe.
And-
Yes, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Okay, Councilor Harris?
I do think it's appropriate. The purpose of this activity in this committee, we were asked by our president and others to kind of, our docket should reflect the matters before us and the matters we're actively working on. Any other matters should be either filed or redirected to appropriate committees where that work can be done. That's the purpose and intent of the motion, so it's not to get it off our docket, but it's to move it to the Vernal Use Committee
Okay.
where that activity is occurring and where focus is occurring.
Great, thank you. For 1 second, that makes a lot of sense. On the motion to, so we're moving the Fernal School wetland at site from 2014. We're gonna move this to the Fernal Use Committee, correct?
Yes, that is the motion.
All right, on the motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Thank you. We're doing good. Careful. 10 more.
Housekeeping.
Yes, Madam President.
So, there's a matter going back to 2016, resolution regarding the National Joint Utilities Notification System.
That's from Councilor Logan, I see it here, correct?
It is, the Council and Vice President would respectfully ask that somebody consider making a request for the directors of wires to come in to a future meeting at the chairman's discretion to provide with the committee with an update on where that stands.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, let's make it for, no, for the upcoming
Right.
committee meeting, which will be on October 15th. Would that be all right?
Yes.
All right. On the motion, we're looking for the Director Kelly to come here, correct? All in motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. The ayes have it, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, If
Yes.
I might, you have.
Okay, I'm sorry, can you put that back on the table, please?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to place that back on the table, please.
All right, on the motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
I guess I
Thank you.
would look to the clerk, you have two matters on Melody Lane, the Melody Lane water main and the Melody Lane
Resurfacing.
resurfacing. Should those remain separate, Mr. Clerk? All right, that's fine. I'm
Okay.
good, thank you.
Thank you. Any other matters? Councilor Fowler, you have something here I was looking at, the resolution College Farm Road, do you remember that? Update on you here, might as well ask you.
They have never, the traffic commission has never got back to us, so.
Do you wanna make a motion to?
No, I can't, but if
Oh,
someone
yeah, of course.
asks them
You have the traffic,
I'll make a motion.
to have them come back with a report.
okay. Great, Councilor Blanca's motion to hear from the traffic engineer, Mr. Garvin, I imagine, right?
Yeah.
To come to, we think next meeting? Do you think we're gonna have a lot of stuff perhaps?
You can just ask him to send a written report if he's,
Okay.
a written update.
Okay, make a motion to ask for a written update regarding the resolution of College Farm Road. It was posted by Councilor Fowler back in October 2017. On the motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Will say no? Thank you. All right, so I got that. Somebody put that back on the table?
Make that motion.
All right, motion to put back on the table, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Thank you. Right. Any other items?
I'd like to take
Yes.
a matter of table, the resolution concerning parking at the Veterans Skating Rink.
All right. On the motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
I just sent a request to, Mr. Garvin to respond as to how to make out the parking spots in the rear of the rink, either
Yes.
signage or.
We got that memo.
We got that memo. Do you get a copy of that memo by any chance?
Yes, this is on the parking lot design,
Yeah.
which is the extension, but in the rear of the rink,
Oh, okay.
they removed all the no parking signs, and I had a conversation with the Park and Rec Department, Nick, and myself, and he was under the impression that they were going to be striping the spots, and I don't believe that's been done yet or addressed, and I think in the conversation with Mr. Garvin, they wanted to put up parking signs first, that it's allowable,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wanted to get an update on that.
All right, so we'll make a request to have Mr. Governor come here next time to go, or you want to read?
He could give a written request
Okay.
as to an update on either parking signs or striping.
The
At the rear of the,
red skating rink, right?
On Winter Street,
Yes.
on the Winter Street side.
but no, it's actually on Winter Street behind Winter Street, he's talking about.
Oh, Winter Street.
I'm sorry, you're talking about on Winter.
On Winter
the park
Street,
On
yes,
Winter Street.
yes, they removed the no parking signs to allow parking on the side of the rink.
I see.
But they didn't either stripe it or say that they were gonna either stripe it or put parking signs.
So we're looking for that as a written update?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. And put the matter back on the
Place
table.
that matter back on the table.
All right, on the motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
And I'd like to take the matter off the table of expanding the parking near the train station on Moody Street,
All right, on the motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
and make a request to Mr. Garvin also to update on us as to a timeline on the, they're gonna do a survey.
Okay. We were looking
And
for
that would be a
a
written request.
written request. Mr. Governor, you're a busy man in a couple of weeks.
I see my name off. I'd like to place that matter back on the
All
table.
right. The motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Thank you. Now we have the composting resolution, we're still waiting on that, right? And I know we were looking for another the PCI Index, Councilor Bromart?
Yes.
We're waiting for that as well?
Correct.
Okay. Who was supposed to speak on the matter? Who we?
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, so he's gonna be the vote? Okay, all right.
And Council LeBlanc's paving resolution too, for 1725.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna be talking about three matters, okay.
Yes.
And he's in.
It's in one.
Looked at they're asking for a front loader. Take a 5-minute recess.
Yes.
Let's make the motion, take a 5-minute recess. Favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
shape like this.
Right now? Someone please make the motion to take 151 Crescent Street off the table.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Councilor Boomer, motion on, by say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Like, make a motion to hear from a non-committee member. Someone make that motion, please. All right, Councilor Boomer makes a motion to hear from a non-committee member. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. You're Mr.
Nelson Oliveira.
Okay. You're here on a 17-25 for 151 Crescent Street, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit more about the, you're here to do, you need to, road was paved 2016, you're looking to rip the road because you need to put sprinklers, is that right?
Yes, I like to bring gas to the building as well, but the building have electrical. Everything's electrical. In the winter time, the tenants use the space heaters. And I like to put a new heating system. And the building department also wanted me to put a sprinkler in the building. Right now, I have a 3 units vacant. I like to renovate it to rental. Put it back in my for rental.
Any questions for, yes, Councilor LeBlanc?
It's a 3-family house?
No, it's a 12-unit building.
Oh, 12-unit building. And you're doing a renovation, you wanna do a renovation to it?
No, we're gonna renovate 3 vacant units.
2 vacant units and sprinkle them at that time?
I have to sprinkle the fire department.
Yeah,
They push me to sprinkle the building.
the 12 units, I'm sure they want it done.
And I'm gonna upgrade the common area as well.
So in order to do that, you have to bring in a sprinkler main,
Yes,
larger than the water main you have now?
that's correct. They want me to bring it 2 inches.
2-inch.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't give you credit for the existing water main when you do the sprinkles, that would be separate completely for the volume. Thank you, no further questions at this time.
I have no question.
Alright.
They'll put the answer.
Okay, Councilor Harris?
Through you to the petitioner.
Thank you.
What is the timeline for you needing to start and end this project?
I have the units vacant right now. I like to get done as soon as possible.
So, but every project has a timeline, so what are your absolute timelines for your project?
I like to get the sprinkler if possible. A week or so, I like to bring the water in.
In a week, in a week.
2 weeks before it goes, before November. In the month of October.
And then what about the gas line? What is the
Gas
timeline
line,
for that?
I'm work with them. Soon they told me soon get approved, they're ready to do. But I have to follow up with them.
Have you pulled all the necessary permits for the sprinkler system?
I have everything already approved.
Who's doing the work?
Well, I cannot get a contract yet unless I get a clearance from here.
Okay.
I'm gonna select the engineer department already gave me a list of the contractor, original
That's what I'm
contract
going.
from the city.
Okay, yeah, so you know the list of approved contractors?
Yes, I already contacted them, I have a couple quotes already, just, make my final decision yet.
And do you know how long the project is expected to take? Both your water, your sprinkler system, and your gas, have you gotten estimates of
3
that?
months. Well, the gas I don't know, but the rest 3 months. The work itself 3 months.
Okay. And when you do the street opening, are you having to open up any of the sidewalk or interrupt any of the sidewalk at all, do you know?
I don't think so, because sometimes they shoot around me.
Have you notified any abutters or anything of your plans? Have you
No,
been in
yet.
contact?
I told them I'm going to renovate, but I did not tell them exactly what's going to happen there.
Okay, when you talk about renovating the apartments, that's separate and distinct from this matter, right? We're talking about just opening the street.
Right now, just open the switch to bring the sprinkler system in.
Mhm. So are you remediating the sewer at the same time, or is that completely safe, or have you looked at that?
The sewer, I believe, is safe.
No further questions?
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just ask for the committee to consider what impact the recent moratorium that the city council passed by a roll call vote, a unanimous roll call vote, that we weren't going to be moving forward with gas-related work in the city until National Grid gets their workers back to work and starts the lockout. So I don't know what impact that has on this, but I think it's worth your discussion.
Thank you very much, Madam President, for bringing that up. I was actually thinking about that myself. Thank you. Counselor, sorry, first I want Counselor LeBlanc, go ahead.
I'll be second.
All right, Counselor Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In regards to the statement made by President Diana Blank, I do agree. I don't know if you're up on current policy or procedure where we are with the city, but we did last week by unanimous roll call. Call to action, no additional contracts. That's why I asked additionally what your plans were. And I'm glad the matter was brought forward by another person here on the floor. So, really, in terms of this, making a motion for this matter, I would ask to have it amended to uphold what the committee, what the city council voted unanimously for, is that I don't think we can consider any street openings for gas unless there's an immediate public safety issue. We can move forward on the sprinkler piece for the street opening, but if we're keeping current with our decision last week from the city council, I'd like to have this matter amended to reflect the opinion of the city council as of last week.
So are you going to be making a motion?
I'm making a motion to consider only the sprinkler openings. I don't feel that we can consider in the committee a gas opening, a street opening for a gas contract. That's a elective thing at this time.
Okay.
When we last week did unanimously vote against considering any of those future contracts until the matters with National Grid have been settled. Thank you very much.
On the motion, Councilor Darcy, please, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to ask, I know that, I thought we excluded projects that were pending. That's one question. And my other question is that the resolution that we approved was to approve a moratorium, an ordinance moratorium, and that hasn't been written, I don't think, yet. That what we passed, I don't think, and I could be wrong, but what we passed last week was non-binding. It has to go through a written moratorium, and that hasn't, to my knowledge, hasn't been passed yet.
I think you're correct. I don't think we are there yet.
Right.
Yet, I think we're in the process, but not there yet.
Okay. And I just wanted to explain to the applicant that we haven't officially imposed the moratorium yet. I could be wrong, but I think this
We need
committee needs to check that out.
Yeah, we definitely gotta look into that.
Thank you.
All right, on the motion, Councilor. Yes.
My motion, and Councilor Morty, is that I believe, what we passed, I believe if it's going to be, the gas line is going to be denied, it's going to be from the building department because of the moratorium when you go to pull your permit. So I don't know that necessarily has anything to do with us here. So we can approve the street opening either way, and if it's with or without the moratorium, it's up to the building department to handle that. And the other question I had for you is, you're aware of the 1725 regulations?
No.
The paving regulations, if you open
Yes.
street within the moratorium?
Yes. We gotta do the overlay.
Okay, and then.
Gonna go
so
curb to curb.
Yes.
Right.
On the approval, we would probably recommend
Sure.
that be followed. That was my only statements, thank you.
Okay. Councilor Romar.
Yep, no, I just wanted to be clear on what we're saying here, because it was my impression as well, which I was gonna say, I thought it was anything that was pending could move forward. So this did have a date of August 6th on it, which was prior to that motion. The second thing I wanna try and do is prevent the owner from having to open the street twice. And so obviously we don't wanna open it for sprinkler and then close it to only have to open it again later for the gas. So to that point, on your motion, how would we, you wanna adjust the motion a bit to deal with that?
I do. So I take under advisement that the date of this matter was prior to the decision, the unanimous vote on the floor of the city council. Therefore, it can move forward because it dated preceded that vote. So I withdraw my amendment and allow 1725 to go as stated. And thank you for the clarification.
Just to,
Yes.
and that motion through you to the petitioner. So, sir, just to be clear, on the water and the sprinkler
Yes.
system, that's for the building and the fire department is requesting that?
The building department requests with the fire department, they want me to sprinkle the building.
Building department
They
requesting?
said the building violation with the fire department because not done having sprinkle.
And did the fire department come in and look?
Yeah, they already approved all the plans. I've been working with them since the beginning of the year, they already approved all the plans. all the
They're
plans.
recommending that you put the sprinklers in?
They want me to put the sprinklers in.
Okay. And then on the gas piece, that is just, you wanna upgrade your systems, is that?
Yeah, as soon as I have to open the street for sprinkle, I just, that's why I'll bring the gas on,
Yeah.
because I don't have enough electrical in the building.
Okay. And are you aware of the city's moratorium on the 5-year paving?
Yes.
Okay. Because normally, quite honestly, until we hear different from either this committee or the full committee, I think we need to do our best to hold up to that moratorium.
Mhm.
However, if for safety reasons and the fire department, you need to open the street for the water, then it makes sense to do that gas line at that point. But I just want to be clear from my perspective, Mr. Chairman, that I will support that gas line opening piece in conjunction with the water, because we're doing it that, we need to do the water for safety and such. But for just upgrading systems, I think if this was separate, I would want to maintain our moratorium on that 5-year hold. So I just wanted to make that noted for the record. Thanks.
Okay, great. I just had a couple of questions for the commissioner. So right now, there's no gas in the house?
No gas.
Everything is electric, so
No gas.
cooking electric, heating is electric?
They use a lot of space heaters, they're not for efficient on the heating system in the building.
Right, and I'm sure also a fire hazard in a way, having all these electric heaters left and right.
Yeah,
Now, you are the new owner?
I'm
You
the
just-
owner.
Since when?
I think it's 2016,
2016, all right. And now you're gonna keep these units as rentals?
as I
correct?
rent units, yes.
All right. Another, you said 12 units there? How many units are there right
It's
now?
a 14 units, the
14
city's out
units.
12 units, but I have a 14 units, 14 tenants, 14 mailbox, 15 electrical meters,
Okay,
some description over there, so.
okay. And the reason why you need the water line is because of a sprinkler system?
This is not the system.
The fire department is
They
required?
wanted me to do it,
Okay,
yes.
okay. Then safety, it is utmost for the tenants, I'm sure Waltham residents, I'm sure everything is okay there. Any other questions or comments from the committee? All right, what will be the, sure of the,
I'll make a motion.
make a motion for approval under the 1725, with all the guidelines to be approved, curb to curb?
Sure.
You already, I'm sure you're quite
Yes.
aware of how that works,
I
correct?
have done several.
Okay, all right. On the motion for approval, 725 street opening at 151 Crescent Street. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. You guys have it, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. I believe this is yours,
Thank you.
sir.
What's the next steps?
At
Gotta receive
this
some
point,
Start digging.
so what's gonna happen, we're gonna go to the full council for the approval, which is not next Monday, but next Monday is the holiday.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, then after that, you will go to the, I believe, to you? No, they come,
Yeah, they can come to me or I'll send it to my.
yeah, so you get the approval after next Tuesday. If it passes the full council next Tuesday.
So, I'm all set?
You're all set for now, sir?
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, all right. It's not table here.
No.
All right.
Take the composting resolution off the table.
It's not even, it's kind of like,
It's a new matter. It's brand new.
it's kind of like this guy over here.
New car smell.
All right. Would like to hear from off-committee member, Councilor from Ward 7, Councilor Mackin. You have the floor.
Thank you. I brought in this composting resolution for all of the reasons that I stated when I introduced it last week. I've had conversations with the co-sponsors and with Councilor LeBlanc, and I thank you for joining the resolution. So the case I want to make tonight is that what I really hope the committee will do in cooperation with our CPW department is to explore the financial feasibility of this resolution. I think there are obviously costs and benefits to all of the decisions we make. And I hope that the math will work out, that composting will be similar to or possibly less expensive than our regular trash hauling procedure. If that's not the case, I think there are still reasons to move forward with it, but I'm definitely interested in the financial aspect of it. And then, obviously, the environmental impacts. I spoke with our CPAW director before this, and I believe a lot of the trash in the city gets hauled away by our contractor. My understanding is that once the contractor has it, they tend to either dump it in a landfill or more commonly incinerate it. And incineration has a huge amount of environmental impacts from the particle matter and from the greenhouse gases that get released by burning. Whereas composting, almost all of that carbon goes back into the earth and gets reincorporated into agricultural and other uses. So it's really a huge benefit for sustainability. So I'm happy to take any questions from the committee. I also did send an email to the committee chairperson with the names and links to the websites for all the composting companies I'm familiar with that are operating in the Waltham area, so that you can do your due diligence and look into whichever one of them.
You just sent that to me today, just now?
Yeah, just now.
Just now, oh, okay, well,
Yeah,
put it in
I
my
apologize, I wasn't able to
Put it
send
in
it
my homework then.
earlier, but yeah.
All right. Thank you. Anything else you'd like to add?
Not at this time, thank you.
Okay, great. Committee members, anyone?
Councilor Ross, because it co-sponsored the resolution.
Oh, of course, go ahead, Councilor
Yeah, I
Ross,
just
go
want to
ahead.
add that when I was a young boy, the garbage men used to come to every neighborhood in Waltham, and they would walk through the backyards of everyone's house and pull the garbage pail, and that material was being composted back then. This is in the 60s. So we've gone full circle, and I'm hoping that this committee can fully explore Councilor Mackin's, she was the primary sponsor, her idea for composting. The city, and I encourage people to Google the city of Austin, Texas. They have a program where it's called Compost Peddlers. They actually, there's a company, a not-for-profit company that actually goes house to house with a bicycle and collects the compost. The residents pay to this composting company, and then the residents get free access to the resulting compost that's generated after a few months. And it's working very successfully there in Austin, Texas, and I see no reason why it can't work here in Waltham, Massachusetts. So, thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Darcy, Councilor Romar.
Thank you. Through you to, actually both councils, I guess, but you, Council Mackin. First of all, two things. I hadn't really considered a financial aspect of this. So when you mentioned that, or in terms of that, can you just give us an overview of what, or how you envision this working? And what those companies do? Or is it something our city yard is gonna do? People have to separate their compost and then the city will pick it up? How would the whole process kind of, what are you envisioning?
So, right now, my understanding is that something between 20 to 50% of the total garbage stream in a household is compostable material. And my understanding is also that our current trash contractor charges a pickup fee and then a tipping fee is what I've heard it referred to. I think it can be called other things.
He doesn't charge both.
Oh, he doesn't charge both? Okay,
You pay a tipping fee at the dump site,
okay,
and there's a fee associated with the collection.
okay. So, what that breaks down is there's a fee to come get it and there's a fee to get rid of it. And if we go with a composting vendor, we're cutting out the part of the getting rid of it part of the equation. And so I don't know what the rates are for some of these composting vendors, which is why I think we really need to dig into what the numbers would look like. So that's my hope, is that by reducing the amount of stuff to get rid of in the trash, we might be able to realize a cost saving. Now, the other benefits that might come along with this is a possible reduction in rat activity. If we go the route that Cambridge went, where the city provides thick, sturdy plastic buckets that every household gets, hopefully we would have high compliance with the program and everybody would put their food waste and other compostable materials in that bin, which the rats would not be able to access. So I hope that we reduce spending on the rat activity problems and start to cut down on the rat population. So that's a side benefit. There's also the possibility that, so the composting vendors vary in how their model works, but the majority of them take the compost to their facility somewhere and do the composting there. There is a possibility with some of them that we could do the composting on-site somewhere in Waltham. And if that's the case, then some of the vendors that I've reached out to are willing to cut us a better rate on the pickup service fees in exchange for a sweetheart lease on the land. I'm not well versed in what they do with the finished material, if most of them sell it or give it back to the community. So that's another aspect that needs to be explored at this point.
So if from a financial aspect though, isn't it almost, or maybe through you, Mr. Chairman, to the Director of CPW, isn't it almost a wash